So my name is Eke Ade Adetunji. I'm the founder of Creatives Academy. I'm going to be sharing the challenges we face as creatives and how we solve those challenges. Before I get to the solution part, I'm going to start with most of the things we go through as creatives that always happen to be great challenges for us. Because if I don't mention this part, some of you may think this guy is not really facing those things, so he can't really break down how I can overcome those challenges. So it's possible I may not say everything, but I'm sure I'm going to touch most of the major parts where we always have issues. Now, number one is the creativity part. All right. I understand how it is when you are given design project to work on and you find it difficult to solve the problem. And another thing is the being able to get clients, the being able to charge people your preferred rates, facing the issue of clients making too many corrections on simple designs. And another one is clients destroying the beauty of your project. All right. I know those things are huge challenges. Being able to be a free designer. When I say free designer, I mean like maybe like a freelance where you want to be able to you want to be the boss yourself. You don't want to work under anybody. That's fear of being in that level is part of part of our challenges. I'm going to share something that happened between I and one of my clients. Okay, so there's this lady that contacted me from United States that she wants me to work together with her. I mean, she gave me the lowdown of the type of project she wants to be getting from me. So she said that she's looking at me coming up with designs for youth. All right, like she wants the design to always look like young people design because the church is full of old and elderly people. That she's looking at me coming up with design that can draw youth attention. Immediately she said that I already get a picture of what I'm going to be coming up with for her. Then on the first project, I did a design for her, which she said, yes, this is exactly what I'm looking for. Then the next project, she now sent me a design that is it possible I come up with something like this for her? And I was like, sure, I can. But when I looked at the artwork, I realized that the design looked more like old people's design. All right. I'm sure some of you know the type of design I'm talking about. For those of you that don't know, I'm talking of designs that everything is going to look full, like, white space is going to become the enemy of the project. Everything just start looking like somebody's shouting at you. And I was like, but you told me you wanted design that looked more youth. Actually, I didn't tell her that. But immediately she showed me the first design. I told her to send me another design again, which is another thing I want you guys to know how to do. So she sent me like two more designs. So by the time I combined the three designs together, I realized that our thinking is still with the old people. It's just that she just wants to deal with a young person that she can easily relate with. When I started working with her, I was able to do designs that she liked based on the three samples she sent to me. All right. So this is why I'm sharing this with you now. Here is for some of us, we may look at it like a huge challenge where somebody already told you, okay, this is what I'm looking at, and at the end of the day, she now came back again and said, okay, I'm not feeling that your concern. I'm thinking of doing this. All right. Now, for you who is a simple type of design person, you may find it as a huge challenge. Like for somebody like me now, I enjoy more of doing designs for people who understand the use of white space. And that's why most of my design, you realize that I do allow more of white space. So when somebody who does not allow white space contacts me, it's a huge challenge for me because by the time I'm doing design for the person, that's my type of design style will still want to come in. And if the person is saying, no, this is not looking like what I want, it's going to be like a huge challenge for me. All right. So that's one challenge on its own. And why another reason why I share this is because fear is one of the things that always affects us not taking time to understand what clients want. And another thing again is having a portfolio, doing a portfolio that when you send it out, it gets you a good job. Okay, so those are some of the challenges that we face as creatives. I want you to know that all these challenges are simple and minor things that if you don't despair, I'm sure by the time I'm done, you'll be able to know how to tackle those things. In fact, let me say this, one of the greatest challenges we face as creatives is fear. If you can learn to take away fear, I'm very much sure that you see graphic design as business that is interesting. I have effect of fear here. So number one is it makes you a cheap designer. Fear is what makes some of us cheap designers. The fear of not having money in my pocket, the fear of losing the client. Then number two is it makes you get scared of working on design projects. Yes, so fear is another thing that always make us get scared of working on design projects. Where whenever we are called for design projects, there's this thing that comes to our mind like, hey, how am I going to come up with this? I'm actually going to do something that these people will like. Now, I decided to list this out so that every one of you will know the area where you don't know that you are giving room for fear to come in. All right. So the number three is fear is what makes you complain. Fear is what makes you complain of the amount you're making, and then you are scared of increasing your pay. You are complaining that people are not really paying me well, and you're not increasing your rate. So fear is what's stopping you from increasing your rate. All right. Then another thing that fear does to we creatives is it makes us want to stop graphic design. All right. No, I've heard so many designers say, I'm not sure this is my calling. I'm not sure design is what I want to do. All right. So fear is what is always making you think of, okay, let me move to something else. All right. Now, there are times where you need to move, but your moving should come when you've gotten the picture of what to do. And that's why you don't go into graphic design because you saw one of your friends making money in graphic design. No, you go into graphic design because you love design. All right. So you need to check that. It makes you an aggressive designer. Fear is what makes you feel like, which is similar to the complaint part. It makes you think you are doing too much than what you are making. All right. So this makes you aggressive, which is still make me go back to what I told you the other time that you're afraid of increasing your risk because you don't want to lose clients. All right. So fear is what, always cause that. All right. How to now conquer fear? Because if you can defeat fear, trust me, you are going to enjoy graphic design. I'm telling you the truth. Because I remember when I started graphic design, all these things I listed here are the things I always fight with. And the day I was able to defeat fear, trust me, those things just look childish to me. The first thing you need to do as a creative person, where defeating all this issue is concerned, is you need to know who you are. Knowing who you are as a creative person is one of the things that will help you with defeating those challenges. I'm sure some of you already know that your job is to help clients be ahead of your competitors. If you always remind yourself this, it will make you build yourself to the point where when you're working for people, you make sure you do something that will, look different from what every other people are used to, which will now help, sell the brand item or make the brand be ahead of their competitors. So you need to know who you are. You need to renew your mind. All right. You need to change the way you see things. You need to change the way you see people. So you need to stop this negative thought about client, like somebody just doing too much and they are not paying good money. This company I'm working for, they are just using me and they are not increasing my pay. You need to stop that. One of the things, which is where you need to check if your mind is actually renewed or not. How do you think when you are asked to work on design projects that you don't really understand the brief? How do you think when you ask someone to pay your bill and the person decided to flee because of it? How do you feel when there's no money in your pockets as a creative person? The renewing of your mind is what will help you know what to do when there's no money in your pocket, or maybe you are given design project to work on, and then you are finding it difficult to work on the design project. All right. So if you, one of the things you need to do when renewing your mind is don't embrace anything negative. Embrace the positive. You have to work on design project. Think of, see yourself doing something good. See yourself solving the problem. Don't have this thought that there's nothing I will do for these people that they will like. So you have to learn to renew your mind that, okay, whatever my hand touches will surely come out in a way that will draw people's attention to look at it. Whenever there's no money in your pocket, renew your mind by saying that, okay, right now, I call for money, and then you see money come to you. So instead of you saying the negative, change it to the positive. Don't confess negative things about yourself. Say more of the positive, and then you see great things happening to you. Getting yourself equipped. For this getting yourself equipped part, I've heard designers pray this prayer that, Lord, please get me good clients. Yes, I'm not against prayer. In fact, I'm a fan of prayer. I pray a lot. But have you forgotten that the organization or the client you are praying for is also praying that, Lord God, make my business be ahead of my competitors? And the people that most organizations use to make this happen most time is you and I, because we are the one that shape the look of how we want people to see the brand. Most of the big organizations that you see today that people always want to have their promotional items with them, you realize that they spend so much on designers because they know that if they don't have good designers, the picture, the look of how they want people to look at them will not be achieved. So the same way you are praying is the same way the organization is praying. And the God that you and I serve is not a wicked God. He's not going to put you where you are going to affect the life of or the business of his own person. So your prayer as a creative is not, God, let me get clients. Your prayer is what you need to do that will make you be ahead. The same way the organization pray is the same way you're supposed to pray too. That what will make me be ahead of every other creative person. Lord, give it to me. So hey, I'm sounding like a pastor. Anyway, so that's what you need to do. All right. So you need to get yourself equipped. So how part of how you get yourself equipped is you read books. All right. There are books on graphic design. And then another thing you need to do is you need to do research. I'm always surprised when I hear creatives use the word, my boss will not allow me, my company is always using me, and they don't always allowing me to do research on good designs. No, if you continue that way, trust me, you are opening the door of your replacements. All right. I've shared this story before here, and I'm still going to share it again because I know we have new people here. There's this guy that happened to be my friend. We're both into design. One day he came to see me at my studio because he's working under an organization, but I'm a freelance designer. So he came to meet me and said, Caesar, you know what? Because he's a CorelDRAW user. And then he said, Caesar, my boss just employed a new designer. My boss focus is on that guy now. They hardly ask me to work on design projects, and I'm sensing it that very soon they are going to fire me. Do that. What he wants to do now is he wants to learn how to use Photoshop. That if you now know how to use the Photoshop, then he will do one or two designs for them, and then after doing the two designs, he will just tell his boss that he wants to quit. That he wants to cut his boss. When he said it, I laughed. I said, bro, that's not how this game works. All right, you can do well with the application you're using at the moment. What you need to do is get yourself an education, which is understand the principles of design. I don't understand how somebody will go on a journey without knowing where he or she is going. You can't call yourself a graphic designer and then you don't understand the principle of design. I don't understand. It can't work. Let me say this to you. The principle part is even important than the application you're using. Because the principle part is what will help you know how to even do good design with if I say this application, some of you will laugh. With PowerPoint, I'm telling you, if you understand the principle, doing designs with any design application is going to be easier for you because the using of the application is not what makes you a good designer, but being able to tell story with the little you know application. The telling story now comes in when you've learned the principle of design. And another thing is have time that you go online, you check good designs, and then you solve the equation of why the design is successful to you. The more you do this, the more you open yourself up to be a creative person. I'm telling you, I do this. Even as I've read the principle of design, I still go online to check people's design. And listen, guys, this is another reason why after checking those designs, because I know some of you are looking at me like, "Boy, I do that. I search designs online, and I'm still not getting how to come up with good design." The reason why one of the reasons why you may still find it difficult to come up with good design is, have you had time to check yourself to know the type of designs you want to be doing? That's another area that some of us don't look at. We think, okay, so because I know how to use the application now, I should be able to do all designs. No. Somebody who is into drawing now may find it difficult to do flyer design. Yeah, there are some people who do drawings that will do drawing, who are very good at drawing. That when you ask them what do you do for a living, what do you do for a living, they tell you I'm a graphic designer. And if you give them a flyer design to work on, what you will see on the flyer is drawing with the information on the flyer. And at the end of the day, the client will go, this is not the type of design I want. And then you start feeling bad. So you need to know what type of design do you want to be doing. Do you want to go into illustration design, or you want to go into the designing of poster, which is I'm talking of movie posters, flyer designs, and so on. So if your focus is on designing of poster, you should do more of learning how to use the application that is suitable for doing that. Now, poster designs, they are also in two different segments. So you have to know the part that you want to go into. There's the corporate part of poster design, where you don't need to be doing too much of effects, but you can learn how to do photo manipulation, but the using of effects is going to be less. There's the movie poster part, which is you learn photo manipulation with color grading and more of effects. All right. So you need to know the area you want to go into. So if you have gotten the area you want to go into, then go and learn the application for it. So if you are the type who wants to be doing more of illustration, where you want to be doing more of drawings, I believe there are applications to achieve that. So you need to know the type of designs you want to be doing, and you see that by the time anyone give you project to work on, you'll find it easy to work on the project. And another advantage of this again is that type of design you want to be doing. Post more of that type of design on your social media page. Trust me, the people who like the same type of design you want to be doing will surely contact you. I'm telling you based on what I've experienced. I like designing movie posters. I like designing sport posters. My highest paid clients today are people who like poster design and sport poster. All right. So if at all I post more of magazines on my page now, I'm sure I would have gotten clients who do magazines. Yes, I do that. If I'm called for magazine designs, I know how to do magazine designs. But the area where I want people to, I really want to enjoy working is what you see me post more on my page. And whenever they call me for design project in that area, I do designs for them fast and easy, because that's what I love to do. So when you're doing what you love to do, what you like to do as a creative person, you'll come up with designs easily, and then it will open more doors of clients for you. All right. So let's go to the next one that says think like a boss. So many of us think, okay, when I'm done learning the principles, learn how to use the application, and I'm getting paid, that's it. No. See, let me tell you one thing about graphic design, okay? You can't have one client forever. Yes. We creative people don't have one client forever. It can't work. We change clients. All right? We change clients. In order not to get to that level of why is everything like this for me, which is how come I'm not getting jobs? How come I don't have anybody calling me for design projects now? And this is me that, people always, there are times, there's this time where people call me that they don't stop calling me for design project. Why is it now that I don't have anybody again? The reason why it's like that is because when those things were working, like when things were working for you, you did not think like a boss. Your focus is on what you are making, and you were so that you are at that point where you are too relaxed. If you go to most of the organizations that we all celebrate today, you will realize that as we celebrate them, they still continue coming up with different things to make us still look at them like great people. It's not like they are making you feel like, okay, because we are successful people, see what we have now. No, what they are trying to do is they want to continue to be at the top of their game, because so many people are out there looking at what they are not doing, and they are trying to be ahead of them. And that's how it is in graphic design. That's why you see that when a company say, okay, they are not calling you anymore, you see that their business will still continue, because getting designers is easier now. In fact, some companies at times they send me a message that, please, can you get us designers? And the reason why it's like that is because when any organization realizes that their designer is not really doing something that is making their brand be ahead of their competitors, they find a way to replace the person. Before that time happen, you need to start thinking as a boss. What does bosses do? They strategize. Bosses strategize. They draw out plans on what they want to achieve for the week. If you really want to make money as a designer, please, you need to start strategizing now. You need to start working on putting content that will get you the type of client you want to, you work for. If you check banks, name those big organizations that we all know, you'll realize that on their social media page, they make sure they post things there. And the reason why they do that is because they want people to know that these are the things we have now. These are the advantages of you bringing us to be part of your team, which is which is what you're supposed to do as a creative person. You need to let organizations, you need to let your target clients know why they need to have you as part of their team, because whatever you spend your time doing is where you're going to get results. So if you spend your time putting up content, putting up things that you are using to draw people's attention, to trust you, to make them know that yes, you understand the game, you make them understand that you know what you are doing, one day, all right, you'll see one person will surely contact you, if not one, two. So do more of letting people see what you do, and see, this thing is not rocket science. It's not something that you do now and then, yeah, you get the result in that. No, it's something you have to be consistent with. It's something you have to continue doing. And the way social media is today is funny, because there are some posts that I put online that I don't even expect companies to see. That they will just call me and say, "Oh, we saw this post you put online, and we're thinking of you doing something similar for us." All right, so you have to be consistent with your breakthrough activities. All right, there's how to respond to every project you are asked to work on. All right, there's how to respond to every project. Now this area is the creativity part. All right, and then it's also on the part of challenges from client. There's always a way to respond to every challenges that come your way. Remember, I said in the beginning that you have to be a positive person. Don't see negative things as negative. All right, see negative things as positive, because inside every negative thing, there's there's a breakthrough. All right, there's success. All right, there's something good inside everything negative. Another example of why I'm saying this is this: if God is still looking at the world the way it is now, it means God believes that something good is still going to come out from here, from the world. All right, so inside every negative thing, there's something good that can come out from it. All right, so there's a response. So if you're asked to work on any design project, please, guys, there are millions, in fact, there are uncountable ways to come up with design solution. so many ways you can come up with design solution. It's not until when you, because I know some of us always have this mindset of, okay, um if it's Caesar that is asked to come up with this project, what's Caesar going to come up with? Man, what's he going to come up with? But I'm going to share one story with you before I go into um the depth of what I'm saying on this part of the Conca Fair. I remember when I was called for my very first design project. I was managing with my boss back then, because the person I'm talking of, the person that taught me the business of design. And the person that contacted me showed me a flyer. All right. He said, I'm looking at having this type of flyer for my event. And I collected the flyer from her. When I got to my office, I was holding the flyer and I was coming up with my own concept. I would look at the person's flyer like this and I would be, coming up with my own concept. Back then, when I was doing this, I spent, no, in fact, I spent on just one flyer, I spent close to 4 hours trying to come up with something better than what the person did. So I was looking at the flyer. I've never shared this story before. I just remember now. So I was looking at the flyer and I was trying to come up with my concept. Then my boss entered the office. I didn't even know that he has entered because our door doesn't make sound. So he was behind me. He said he has been there for 5 minutes looking at what I was doing. So I was looking at the flyer. I'll change the position of my text and the images. And suddenly I just noticed somebody just collected the flyer from me and then he just turned the flyer. And I was like, no, why did you do that? This job is something that someone asked me to look at, to do something, similar to what's on the flyer. And my boss said, what is going to kill and affect your creativity is when you are looking at somebody else's work and then you're using it to come up with your own design. If you really want to be a good creative person, activate the creativity inside of you. There's something unique inside of you that is different from what that person that did that design did. And when he said that, I said, oh, okay. All right. Okay. So I said, okay, no problem. And back then, I don't even understand the principle of designs. In fact, if I show you guys the design, you guys will laugh at me because I end up using up to 4 or 5 fonts. But luckily for me back then, the fonts that I use, the different fonts I use have similar look. I'm talking of sans serif fonts. So they are different fonts, but if you are not a designer, you won't notice. And when I'm done with the design, I was shocked. She was like, wow, this is beautiful. And I was paid for it. So whenever you're asked to work on design project, please, there's something unique inside of you that is waiting for you to explore. What you need to do is discover yourself. And how do you discover yourself? Let me teach you how I was able to discover myself. I went online and I saved like 3 designs and I placed those designs next to each other and checked what are the things that are similar on those designs. And I realized that my type of person is to do designs that show more of doing designs that look like how things appear in real life. I'm a type of designer that like to do designs like picking elements and then putting them together to form a realistic look. And now merge that to my using it to tell story on my design project. Until today is still what I'm doing. I'm sure so many of you saw the poster for this stream. You realize that outfit, I'm sure some of you may not notice, but that outfit is not my outfit. It's somebody else's outfit. I just had to, blend my body into it and it worked. So it's what I, love to do. And then I went into learning how to achieve it that it will now look perfect. And that's another thing you all need to do. So understand the area you want to focus on. And please, I want you guys to work on this thing I just mentioned here now. And then you see that if you do it, coming up with design is going to be easy. It's going to be very easy. Now, so many of us like drawings with effects, with photo manipulation, but there's always one among those 3 things that when you see it, you're always happy. You're always excited when you see it on design. That is your area, and that's the area you need to work on. And there's how to respond to every project. All right. So whenever you're asked to work on design projects, understand why. There's always why the design is this. There's always why you have that outfit you're putting on. There's always why. There's why you have that mobile phone that you're using. There's a reason why you have that laptop you're using. All right. No designer will use a laptop that is not working. You can't have a laptop that is not working on your table when you're asked to work on design project. No, that's how it is in graphic design too. If you don't have the reason why you're asked to work on the project, your problem will just be like that laptop that is on the table. And then when you now send the design to the client, you now hear them start saying, well, we don't like it, because there's a picture in the mind of the client who asks you to work on the project. So that picture, your job as a creative person is to show that picture, is to bring out that picture. And that's why the client contacted you. And that's why they contact us. So what you need to do as a creative person is, what is the goal? Who are the target audience? Where will this job be seen? Are you printing this? Do you have the age of the people that you are trying to target? All these things are what you're going to put together to achieve the, okay, so those are the things that shape the look of the project. And then after receiving the brief, if the client now say, I'm still not feeling it, then you ask them this question: what are those type of designs that catches your attention? I do this a lot. You hear them say, I have this design that I saw from so 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 person. Then they give you the name, and some will not even, some will say, I don't have any design, just like I'm not feeling it. So what you now need to do is you now need to educate them. There's a part of you educating your client, or else you will spend forever working on design project. Ask them. If you tell them, if you are saying you don't have anything at the moment, that means you are going to still make me continue sending what you don't like, because what I'm sending to you is the picture I have in my head, but I don't understand that picture you have. So I need to build that picture that you have. It's like when you go to the hospital, you can't go to the hospital and the doctor will just bring out injection and start putting it on your body. No, the doctor will ask you some question, and that's how we do ours as designers. You need to diagnose the problem. So what are those things you think you don't like here? Are there colors that you think you now start saying the color I don't, then you ask them, okay, what type of color do you like? They say, hey, I'm thinking of having this. In fact, there are some good designs today that so many of us here have destroyed because we didn't ask the right question from the client. That the client say, I don't like the design, and then next thing you go, okay, you want me to send you another option, you just go bam, and then you now spoil the look of that good design. I've had this experience where it's only color, just color, that the client wants me to change. Then what I tell them is, what exactly you don't like about design? Some of them will say, I don't know, I'm not just feeling it. Okay, you're not feeling it. Okay, so are there type of colors that you always like? Color is one very, in fact, color is one secret that most creatives don't know, that if you use it the right way on your client design project, they will approve the design. I have this client that if you want to win his heart, just use something that shows gold. If you want to win his heart, just, in fact, if the design is ugly, let him see gold. He will approve it. I have this one that just make the title very big, make it so big to the point where it's almost touching the right and the left side of the frame. So you need to understand who you're working for. You need to understand that picture that they want you to paint. If you don't understand the picture, they will continue rejecting the design. And there are times when you may be lucky, or you may understand their type of design, that once you just do something for them, they get it. And there are some clients that they don't have this problem with telling you, make it look like this, change the color, blah blah blah. No, there are some clients that don't have that time. All right, but why I'm saying this now is, I know the ones who always give us issue, the ones that always make us go through this challenge of solving their problems, are the ones who always make corrections a lot. And I'm telling you now how to help them, because trust me, the reason why they contacted you is because they want you to help them. So you need to help them by understanding that picture that they want. And listen, guys, your client is not your enemy. Whenever I'm working for anybody, what I see is my friend. I don't see client, I see friend. And when I say friend, I'm talking of somebody I love, somebody I like. So when you like someone, when you love someone, when the person hurts you, You won't feel bad. Rather, you will find a way to um, allow peace to reign between you and the person. Now, for those of you who are using expensive phones here, I'm sure when your phone drop, that the screen cracked, you won't complain. You won't tell the phone like, "Why did you drop?" What you'll be fighting to do is to go and fix the phone. That's the same way you're supposed to treat your clients. No client is your enemy. And when people see that you're a nice person, they refer you to other people. When you see that you're a good person, even if you are not the most creative person in the world, if you are the type of person who is friendly, you are nice with them, they will refer you to other people. Then my last point here is to make it as a designer, you have to function like a designer. And to function like a designer, you have to know who you are. You are not just a CorelDRAW user. No. You are not just a staff of that company. No. You are a solution provider. And understanding who you are is what opened the door of you standing out in your field. Is what opened the door of clients for you. So for those of you that have not done this, please, all the things I mentioned here, go and work on them. Those of you that don't have a portfolio, part of what makes you function as a designer is you having a portfolio. Those of you that have never heard of through the education part of graphic design, go and start now. One of the things that renewing of mind does to us is when we don't think about ourselves, when our focus, but like if you're going through any problem, rather than seeing it as a problem, see it as something positive is about to explore, something positive is about to launch. So at that point, what you need to do is that thing that is knocking the door is telling you that stop being about yourself. The day we stop being about ourselves, that we are about the people, that's when things start turning around for us. I remember when I started graphic design that I see coming up with designers huge challenge. I'm gonna sound a bit spiritual here. I had to go to God and ask God for the wisdom to know how to be creative. And this thought just came to my mind that I should do more of helping other designers. That I should do more of creating content for designers to be better designers. And I realized that some of the things that I thought I even know back then, it was even the people that I'm helping that opened my eyes to it. So when they ask me any question, what I do is I go and then do research on those things. Those things are now helping me to to grow as a designer. So if you really want your problem to be solved, please don't be about yourself. If you want to get clients, don't be about yourself. Be about the clients. All right. Now, this is how you're going to know if you're about yourself, because I know some of you may be looking at it like, okay, how am I supposed to know if I'm about myself? If your focus is on the money, you're about yourself. If your focus is on the money you want to make, like you're thinking, okay, I want to do designs that means I want to be making money. No, you're about yourself. But when you are about, okay, I want to do something that whoever I'm working for will not want to let me go. And hey, you're about the business. And that's what I do. Because I want, and that's why if any client should stop calling me for design project, I'm not boasting here, and I'm telling you that this guy is a big truth. They still call me back. If anybody stop calling me for design project, maybe they feel most times it's always because of the money. They always think, okay, if I can be paying this guy this money, and I heard that there's a designer out there who can pay, who can do something for us, I will pay him less. Why are we wasting our time? Then they contact the person. And what normally happens most of the time is my designs, the designs I do for them is what they will now show the person that we're looking at achieving something like this. If the person did not deliver, they will come back to me. So even at your workplace, even at where you work, please, guys, please don't say because they are paying you salary. The only thing you now do is whatever the job that they ask you to do. No, don't do like that. If you are doing like that, you are trying to make them, you are trying to say you want them to replace you. Don't say because okay, it's only when they ask me to do this design, I'll do it for them. No, go the extra mile of on learning the creative part of their business, which is the type of designs that sell what they are into. So that whenever they want to replace you or they want to call somebody else, that your type of person will still remain in their head, that they will be thinking, no, 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 this person is not up to our taste. It's like you staying in a flat where there's toilets, you have your own personal toilet, you have your own personal bedroom, you have two bedrooms, and then a sitting room, and you have your own kitchen. If you move to an apartment where you share toilets, you share kitchen, you share bedroom, and all those things, you won't feel comfortable. And that's how it is in graphic design. So when you make yourself valuable, if you make yourself expensive, to replace you is going to be difficult. All right. So I shared this 2 weeks ago with the creatives that during the coronavirus, when the coronavirus started, things were not going well the way I wanted. You know, a man with two kids and a wife, you know, you should know that those people need to eat. So things were not going the way I want them back then. But one thing I mean, what I did back then was what all the things I shared with you here now. I didn't see those things then as problem. I see it as an opportunity for me to do something. In fact, it reveals my lapses for me. Because back then I was thinking, when things were going before the coronavirus, I was thinking, yes, I'm there, you know, clients call me, I go to have a meeting with them, I do designs for them. In fact, there's this thing I love so much back then, which is, you know, company will just come in that, please, we need you to come and help us quickly do some simple design in our office. I go there, I charge them, they pay me well, I go back to my office, and those things just stopped. So immediately when I noticed that those things stopped, then I went back and I said, okay, what are the things I didn't do well? I realized that I've not been thinking like a boss. I've not been strategizing. My focus was just on the money and I'm so relaxed. You need to please do all these things I mentioned, and trust me, if you don't stop, you see things, you know, start working for you the way you want them. All right. So I'm going to stop here, and I hope you guys enjoyed this training. And then if you have not subscribed, please remember to hit the subscribe button and comment on this video if you like it, and hit the like button if you also like it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.